Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to KF&JF podcast. I tell you, we're so excited with our guest that's coming on today. I can't tell you enough about her, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let her tell you the story because this podcast is about everybody telling their own story in their own way regarding their business experience and entrepreneurial experience. And I'm so thankful that you guys are tuning in today to make this a part of what you do. And we're so happy that you do that and tuning in and subscribing. We do appreciate it. And I want to say thank you for doing that and giving us the opportunity to bring these, guests to you so that you can understand a little bit more about what they go through as a business owner. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead on and kick it over to our co-host, Razak.
Greetings. My name is Razak. I am the CEO and founder of United Minority Business Ventures. My purpose is to help small businesses grow. This means I will assist with the creative process and maintenance of your business. The method to achieve results is simply building a deeper relationship with your customers. I do this by forming opportunities to communicate and collaborate with your followers, subscribers, and other business owners. By using a wide range of networking tools, we will have an understanding for building your business profile, what type of social media marketing fits your productivity and your availability, and building your financial profile, branding your services, product, or merchandise. Together, we may also determine what type of license is needed to operate your business. And does your budget permit the ownership of your own domain or buying into pre existing sites that host your page? I like to drive traffic by managing your website. This allows me to work with you to select posts that create subscriptions, comments, and likes. I also assist by generating comments on other individual business sites or a page that create a dialogue of conversation directed towards your page. I also assist with the creation of the content on your media site. This will be a collaboration of ideas which will reflect on your brand, your work ethics, and the community's need to know what you have to offer them to bring a better quality of comfort to their lives and lifestyle. I can also assist with the writing of content, directing your videos, the editing process, and publishing them on various sites for marketing purposes, advertising, and promotional value.
Well, like I said before and many times before, we like to thank Razak for all the work that he's doing out there and bringing these small businesses up from the bottom now to here. So they got all the information they need. They got their websites out there. They're building a network. So we really appreciate those things that he's doing to support the small business in our area and abroad. So, with that, again, thank you, Razak, and all of the listeners that are out there today. Oh my goodness, we got somebody on our show, and I'm happy to introduce her, but because the formalities are over, she's going to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lisa Egerson. I'm the owner of Delectable Delights here in lovely sunny California. And we are a company that caters as well as do pop up tents around the city from LA to San Diego. And we serve pastries, pasta, and salads. We are a healthy alternative or a healthy choice when you go to the markets, flea markets, events, and any place that you would love to have a great time. I just want to say thank you guys very much for having me on your show. And again, aloha.
You know what? Aloha. How are you? How are you doing? How
Fine. How are
you
you?
doing? You know, I really appreciate you coming on. I can't thank you enough for that. Let's start off this show by you just talking a little bit about you, where you from, a little bit about your background, and let's get to, our listeners to know a little bit about how you go about being you.
That's a very complex question. Well, anyhow, I would like to say the beginning of my business was don't complain about not having money. So my mother had a bakery in addition to her full-time day job. My father was a carpenter at a school, like a janitor at a school, and then he also did carpentry on the weekend. So both my parents believe in grinding hard, and we didn't want, need, or suffer for anything. I don't have a purple peanut butter story to tell you. It was just my parents always provided for all 8 of their children plus themselves, which is a family of 10. And so they taught us all to work hard and earn money and go out there and get what you want. So from that, I took that instillment, and now I'm instilling it into my children. I don't like the phone calls when my kids say, "I need some money and I'm broke." Being broke in my family is like a bad word. You have so many attributes and talent within your own person that you're able to go out there, use whatever God-given talent that you have, and turn a profit from it so you can survive. We taught our children survival skills. So I was married to a pastry chef for, I'm sorry, excuse me. I was married to a hot food chef for 21 years. And then from there, we went ahead and went separate ways. And my daughter went off to college, and she became a pastry chef. So in the grind of trying to get her out the house, I started working with my son, who also was asking for more money. He came of age about 14 years old. He was asking, "Can I have money for this? And I want to go here, and I want to do the movies, and I want to go this trip and that trip and this trip, and I need soccer shoes and I need basketball shoes." And I was like, okay. So in order to afford that lifestyle, it's time for you to start working. So therein lies Delectable Delights. And we also worked in hand, pushing my daughter out, getting her out of the funk of COVID and got her back out into the grind, and got her back to do Unicorn Bakery. So we often travel hand in hand, side by side, to different events. But that's pretty much the business in a nutshell. It's an amazing experience being able to work with your children. Each and every one of my children have their own businesses, and they all thrive. And don't ask me for money. That's a wonderful thing.
I heard that.
I mean, that's more than wonderful. That's like you got money and time for yourself because they're running
Exactly.
off doing things and learning things, the right way from what you're teaching. So talk a little bit about the name of the business and how that came about and what drives that part of the business and you dealing
So the
with.
name of the business came from, originally when we first got to California, we didn't have a food license. So we acquired a number of things that people had given us over the years as far as collectibles. So until we got our food license, we went around and we did craft events, and that was me getting to know the market here. How did things work? So we didn't want to be called a food company name because we were selling crafts at first, but we knew the food license was coming. It took about 3 to 4 months. And after you get all these licenses and permits, it takes about a year. And so we were operating under Delectable Delights in the craft industry first. And then that way that name was able to carry over into actual food. And so our main hub now is the food, and we're happy to be back in the food realm. So, and by the way, DeAndre is the actual name of my son, not me.
Okay,
That's what
okay,
it is.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, so were you always like interested in food, or did you have another type of career path that you thought you were going to be doing before you got into trying to help the kids, trying to make money, and trying to do all of that? What were some of the things that you were thinking about doing prior to food, or was this always your path?
So I grew up in a bakery. My mother owned a bakery most of my life. And so we learned how to operate basically you learn how to operate, work in the kitchen. I can bake a cake, I can decorate a cake. We can do wedding cakes and all of that stuff. And we delivered them and all the inner workings that go behind operating the kitchen, supplying food to someone and delivering to the customer, and the cleanup as well. So I learned how to do all that as a child. And from there, like I said, I married a chef, and we owned a catering company in our home. And we used to do intimate parties. So it would be like a couple would purchase his chef skills, and we would go to their house, and I would set the ambiance. We set an amazing table. I set the take place settings. A couple would come in, they would dine. I would serve them while they were eating, wine, glass, candles, the whole nine. And then we would leave their home and give them about an hour, 2 hours, whatever they asked for, and we would come back and we would pick everything up, and then we would pick everything up, and then we would go. And people loved the service. The menu could be anywhere from simple to like fried chicken and waffles to something very extravagant like foie and caviar. I mean, they picked the menu and we just put it together and serve it. So that's the next step. And then from there, we went on to have the kids be able to have their own businesses. And Lauren started out in Alaska, and she was selling her pastries in Alaska. And then DeAndre caught on and started selling peanut butter cookies. And so it just continued to evolve. So the kids and I have always been in the food industry, but that's not what I do. I actually do all these things for my kids so they can have their own business because it's easy. But for me, I own a wildlife preservation, and my dream is to own my own land and restore the natural habitat to a lot of endangered species, animals in the forest. And that is what I will be coming back to you to talk about when we get that back up and running.
Wow, wow. You talking about a wildlife reservation. That's got to be somebody's got to be out there dealing with them animals, and I'm scared. So I'm wondering, you must got a strong bunch of kids running around with animals that I know in wildlife. I mean, I can deal with a
Yes.
couple of things, but not everything. So let's talk a little bit about what you do in your business. What type of food you prepare? What is your business? Triple D about, and how you are promoting that.
So majority of the time, what we do is we go to, like, we start out with small events like festivals and fairs and craft fairs. And we were going to these events to learn the market in California, what people like. We were testing the food out. We make custom made pasta. So we have we make a red sauce, and the red sauce um, has a what's it called? A marinara, and then we add all kinds of things to it, like chicken or turkey sausage, and then we put olives, green peppers, onions, tomatoes, mushrooms, cheese, feta cheese, Parmesan cheese, and we put all of that onto your pasta. And then we also serve a white pasta, and the white pasta is Alfredo. And then again, chicken, mushrooms, onions, tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, and we do feta cheese or Parmesan cheese. And for those people who don't want to eat the pasta, we have a salad, a green salad, and it's a mixed green salad. And we put cranberries, raisins, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, olives, green pepper, red pepper, onions, and mushrooms, and anything else within that realm that you ask for. We put that on a salad for you. We build it right in front of you. It's custom made, so you don't have to worry about something pre-packaged that you don't want. Our salad dressings are balsamic vinegar, a balsamic walnut raspberry vinaigrette, and then of course ranch. Everybody likes ranch. And so from there, we also have a cold pasta salad that we do the exact same thing that we do with the green salad, and we put all those toppings on it. And then you come up, and if you want to place an order for a combo, we have drinks. We have homemade lemonade. We have blueberry iced tea. We have apple cider vinegar, and we have, I'm sorry, I'm not apple cider vinegar, apple cider. And we have what else do we have? Kool-Aid sometimes, and then we also have, like I said, lemonade. So, and then people usually ask for those drinks, with the exception of Kool-Aid, either hot or cold. And we have whatever pastries Lauren makes in bulk. You can get it in a combo, so you can get a salad, a green or a pasta salad, and then you can get a hot pasta with a drink and or a dessert, and that's a combo for $20.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that. I
so
like that
definitely.
you have an array of salads and pasta combinations and things like that. Hot, cold. And it must be one of those type of things that make you feel good when you see people that are eating your food and like what you're doing. I like to ask you this question, and I'm gonna come back to some of the food part, but I'm gonna pass it to Razak after this. Is regarding the business aspect of what you're doing. You said you
Mhm.
got your daughter, your son, and yourself, and you come from the background of your partner who was catering and doing that part of the business as well.
Mhm.
What did you learn about that, and how did you get the kids to understand business and appreciate the fact of what you can gain from being an entrepreneur?
Well, number one, they like the kids really like having their own money. They don't have to wait on a paycheck. They like that as well. They like the ability to say, okay, I want to work this weekend, but I don't want to work this weekend because I want to go to this event. So I don't. So they like having the control of the flow of the cash flow, and they do understand. I don't work. I don't have money. None of my children ever struggled with finances because when they got out into their own, they already knew how to operate and manipulate their money to be able to pay their bills or pay their rent or utilities or whatever the case may be. And then also for trying to get them together, simple thing is every time you ask me for money, I say, you want to work? You want some money from me? You need to come work. So that became customary. I had the luxury of having my second daughter at the booth with me this weekend. So that was awesome because it was me, Lauren, and Lottie at the booth, which has been a long time since that's happened. So it was great. It was great to have her there.
Is that one of those things where like we talk about, me and Rizaka, not everybody rides, even though you and Lauren is out there doing your activities at these different events. The other daughter say, that's on y'all, man. Y'all gonna do that, I'm gonna go do what I gotta do. So do you have to work that kind of dynamic in the family as you guys are going, and even though you guys, you say, are sharing a booth or maybe going out together with different business opportunities as far as what you're selling, how do you deal with bringing everybody in? Sorry.
The biggest thing for bringing everybody in is the fact that we have, like, first, again, they have something to do. They can jump in at any time and be like, can I come work this weekend? I need to raise money for blah, blah, blah. And it's not a barrier. I'm like, yeah, come on in. This is not like, oh, I got to make so much money. It's all mine. It's not like that for me. For me, this business is all about the kids being able to jump in whenever they need to. Also for my daughter Lottie, she's got to get back into things. She has her own business where she's a photographer. She's a wildlife photographer. So she's trying to get herself back into the mode of meeting with the public and selling things for herself. And so she's just trying to break out of her shell. She's been comfortable for a while, and she's got to be able to get back out there. So she was like, yeah, let me come get back into the swing of things and get myself together so I can sell these photos, because she's starting to accumulate so many photos, and they're spectacular, that she needs to get them out of her house, basically.
Well, she got a place right here at KF&JF Podcast to show those photos. And
I have already spoke to her. She's going to be
let her know that we will make sure that it shines when it shines. But I'm going to pass it over to Razak and let him drill you about the wildlife, because he's an animal himself.
All right.
Oh man,
What an introduction.
that's crazy.
You got to follow that up. You got to follow that.
That's crazy. Yeah. Can you? Okay. So you have a lot of background in food already, and you've kind of told us the sort of like an origin story about how you came about doing this. But can you tell us about a food related tradition or a ritual that you have in your family or personal life that has influenced your cooking?
So one of the things that I've been able to do most of my life is I have a huge family. There are 8 of us, and then we have children. So every year I started a tradition where I I cook Christmas dinner, and it's the only meal throughout the year that I cook myself, and or I cater with a chef, whichever one. And we serve a formal dinner, and people sit down, and we set the place settings. I mean, the whole nine: the proper fork, the salad fork, the this fork, the this knife. We set the whole 14-piece place setting for around about 40 people. And so we have two dinners on Christmas Day. We have a formal dinner that's usually from 4 to 6, and then we usually serve a buffet style dinner from 6:30 until, and then we all open gifts at somewhere around 8 or 9 o'clock. And again, my family's in Hawaii. It has 35 people in it, and then my immediate family is 8 siblings, and then my children are 4. And well, now we're 9. Sorry, excuse me. Now we're 9. So we've always, the fact that I'm already serving so many people and I get accustomed to doing that has been great. And all my nephews and nieces say they look forward to this meal every year simply because it's the only time of the year we get to use a good china. So we bring out the good china. We use my mama's china. We set a formal table, and they all learn how to eat proper etiquette, at the table. I can't afford to take them all out to dinner to a fine dining restaurant, but I can bring it home.
Right. Yeah, we used to do a lot of stuff like that. It wasn't necessarily a holiday thing. We used to, back in the days, our grandma would just, just say, hey, let's gather together. We was always one of those traditional things of it didn't really matter what it was. Sometimes it was just, we haven't seen you in a while, and we'll go out and have a little food, go out and eat and stuff like that. Can you share with us a food related memory or experience that has challenged your beliefs or your values?
Challenge my beliefs or my values? I don't think I have anything that challenged my belief. Well, okay, I can say this. I am struggling at the moment with the theory that pork is bad for you. I believe that it has a lot to do with where the pork came from. So therefore, my goal one day is to raise my own food so that I can alleviate any bad chemicals and bad processes. I raised 2 wild boars in Hawaii myself. I know exactly what they ate because I fed them 3 times a day. And I had the luxury of eating that meat. And I didn't get a migraine from that meat when I ate it myself, when I raised it myself and fed it healthy food every day. So I am starting to not believe that pork is bad for you as much as it is where it came from. So yeah, I have some doubts on whether or not different foods are bad for you, or is it about how they are fed and it's being passed on to you?
Okay, that's good. That was a good example because we had talked to another gentleman a little while ago who did a barbecue, and he was talking about the farms that he went to, that he got his meat from certain kind of people that raised the chickens
Right,
and
the way it's
pigs
raised.
and the stuff that, I mean, they didn't just throw all the the many different chemicals or shots or something. Cows and animals, they get sick too. They get contaminations, and what I mean, and they just throw them right. They just butcher them and throw them on the market. We don't know what actually they've been eating, or why is this chicken so big, and then other people got these little smaller chickens. I mean, what are they feeding them?
Yes, I concur.
How are they raising them? Mm-hmm.
Because if
that's
they
kind of
sick,
weird.
they get you sick.
Yeah, I was just thinking like,
so
okay,
the meat is bad. So we don't know what our animals are eating. And so one of the things that Lauren does, and I don't have to do it myself because I don't use eggs, but we always cook with farm fresh cage-free eggs. So that means the chickens run wild. They're not sitting there eating their own poop all day, every day. And so the egg is more healthier. So we love that. Coming to California, we can roll around a corner and like, oh, stop over there and get the eggs. Stop over there and get fresh butter. I'm going to get some feta cheese. I mean, it's awesome. We love that part of being in California because it's just a very different life. And almost all of her fruits that she used all come from the market. We go to the farmer's market. We get fresh bananas for the banana bread. We get fresh pumpkin for the pumpkin muffins. So we definitely, for me, all I do is I have to get all my fresh vegetables. So green pepper, red pepper, onions. My salads are fresh, as well as all of my tomatoes. So, it's nothing like having bona fide certified fresh fruit and watching it be fresh and not grocery store fresh. And then it's like all these funny colors.
A lot of those grocery stores don't be having fresh food anyway. It'd be
I know, and it's not right
molded
either because they picked it before it was actually done. Because the grocery store wanted to last longer. So you go to the market and it's beautiful, red, juicy, bursting flavors, as opposed to the grocery store is kind of red-ish, maybe.
Well. So you're doing these pastas and stuff like so, this next thing. Well, you kind of was touching on it right now. How do you incorporate the seasonal or the locality in your cooking or menu development when you're making these pastas?
Well, when we first got here, I thought about changing the toppings to accommodate where we were cooking at. But then I said, nah, we got a big enough market. We just got to find it. And we don't have to keep changing our product. So basically what we do is, because it's such a customized item, we would go certain places and certain things would go big and sell big. So for instance, like when we serve a specific genre of people and they don't want sauce, they might want all pasta, fresh pasta, with nothing but cheese on it. And then we go to another place, like for instance, the African-American community, they go hard in the red sauce. They love the marinara. We go to another environment like the senior citizens environment. They love the Alfredo. So we have enough on our menu, and it's enough broader spectrum that we don't have to keep changing items to accommodate the location. And we did the triathlon this weekend, and of course we sold out of salads. That's crazy. After all they're running, I want to eat, but these people, they wanted salad. They wanted the food fast. They didn't want to wait for the pasta. They wanted the salads right away. So they wanted to turn around and eat salads. And there's so many people that are gluten-free, which is another thing that we haven't really entertained yet, but we will. And we have to start developing our gluten-free menu because California is a lot of gluten-free people.
I heard that has to do with like allergies and stuff like that too, right?
Yes. Yes, a lot of people are allergic to wheat and flour.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Man, and that's one of the main ingredients for what pasta, right?
Pasta,
okay.
So it's like, what do I do with that?
One of the other things about the gluten-free, just for my information, and the pasta is the fact of being a diabetic, it's high in sugar. So it processes and it turns into sugar. So that's why people try to be gluten-free and doing that as well. Just my
we looked at that. We can buy gluten-free pasta, but again, we need to make sure the market is real. We don't want to go out there and buy a product and then nobody buys it, because we've been there before. Because we started making in Alaska, gluten-free products there, and about 2 or 3 people bought it, but it wasn't enough to sustain the business.
Right. Yeah, I think we heard a story like that. You're trying to appeal to a different customer base, and then once you start making those type of pastas things, and then you find out that it was just maybe just a selected few in that area, and it's not like a wide range of customers that you can get with that new product. But with that, what would be the craziest food combination or dish that you have ever tried or created that actually turned out to be a hit?
So we made this thing called shoyu chicken. We was at the frat games this summer, and we were testing out new products to go on our market. So we tried this dish called shoyu chicken, and shoyu chicken is a chicken thigh, and it has like sugars and vinegar and soy sauce and all these. It's made with all these different ingredients and bay leaves. So it's really strong and pronounced, but it has a sweet back end on it, and you serve it over rice. And the sauce that goes over both of them is very almost like a candy apple type of flavor, but it's a sauce. it's more Asian flavored sauce. So it's really good. It's really good, and people liked it. We sold out, but we didn't bring it back again because it was just a test. And so we're probably gonna be selling it at the BRC when it comes this summer, or at the end of the summer in the fall.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
would that be somewhere along the lines of incorporating like a storytelling into your cooking or your menu development?
Yeah, we definitely want to we got to represent Hawaii, because my kids are all like, well, you got to have something on the menu that represents. So we do. We are working on it. We have shoyu chicken, we have a teriyaki chicken, and we have a chicken adobo, because half my family in Hawaii is Filipino. And so we have these items on there. We're tossing around trying to figure out which one is going to be the most productive and easiest to fix and be able to maintain out in the field. And so we're wanting to have items that represent us and really explain who we are and where we're from. And when we cater, we'll be able to go more into our personalities, our diversity as a family. We'll be able to do the St. Louis ribs, and then we'll be able to come back around and have some shoyu chicken or Kalua pig from Hawaii. And then we'll be able to serve, a number of different items so that everybody's represented wholeheartedly in our menu. And we leave with aloha. And so when we leave the event, it's like, oh, I had their stuff. They serve all kinds of things. It's not just one. You can't put us in a genre, and that's pretty much our life. You can't put any of us in a genre.
Oh, so you do have people asking, like, what is this, or where is it from, or was it made? And you got to sit there and tell them it's Hawaii. It's Hawaii dish. This is a blend of different ethnicities and that created this dish.
Yeah, we're working on our catering menu for Christmas right now, because people are calling us to cater for Christmas. And so that's the most difficult thing, is how many things come out of our head to go on paper to make the final cut for the menu. So that's the hard thing.
Okay. Okay. Well, this touch on the hard thing right here, because this can you share with us a food related challenge or a obstacle that you have faced, and how did you overcome it? Creating your business and getting your business off the ground, and the how you got to the point that you are right now doing this triathlon.
Well, the biggest problem for us is maintaining the lettuce. The lettuce is such a volatile, sensitive thing. You're constantly trying to figure out how to transport, maintain, keep it fresh and healthy. And then once you actually use the lettuce and prepare it in a dish, how to keep it looking green, so that people can come by and pick it up and keep it going, or that it looks appetizing to people. And you still want to be able to put it up front so that it can advertise them. But the sun in California is not nice. And you'll look down and your lettuce is all shriveled up, and you're like, oh no, take that off the table. So it's very sensitive to heat and cold. So you really have to work hard. And we're now at a point now where we purchase some really big, nice coolers. And the coolers keep the lettuce nice and fresh and cold, so we don't have to worry about it going bad on us on site. So that's where we are now.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I was just about to say that, put it in the fridge, get one of those little mini fridges or something like that. I'll say, can you tell us about a food related dream or a vision, like a foretelling of something you see in the future that you have planned?
So one of the things that one of my kids would tell you, any one of them, is the worst thing to do is let me get some rest. Because once I get rest, I come back with, I had an inspirational thought. And they hate when I say that, because that usually involves them doing work. So yeah, I just recently, unfortunately, the dream I had is not about this particular business. I just came to Lauren and told her, hey, I think I came up with a new dessert. And so I told her, I think you need to take crusted walnuts and put some syrup over them and make your crust, and then put whipped pumpkin inside and like a little tart, and then put whipped cream on top, like a dollop of whipped cream, and see how that goes. And she just looked at me with the evil look, because I say things like that, like it's easy, but as a chef, there's so many different points to make that work. But in my mind, it's just really easy because I don't have all those things in my head. I just had the inspirational thought. But that's pretty much what happens. Like I spit something out like that, and they're like, "Oh God, she's been sleeping again. Who let her get some rest?" But that's pretty much how it happens. And this whole company, DeAndre Delectable Delights, that was the inspirational thought too. And so here we are today, actually, with the banner, doing well, making the money that we wanted him to make, and pretty soon we'll be building his house with this money. So that's where we are. The final outcome is all the revenue from this company goes directly to his home on our property. He wants a 2-story container trailer, and he wants that home. He already has designed it. All we just got to do is build it.
For your son?
For your son, for DeAndre, yes.
So that's kind of. So does he do architecture or engineering to design his own?
No, he doesn't do architecture. His hobby or his passion is aeronautical engineering. He wants to be a pilot. But not only does he want to be a pilot, but he wants to be a pilot that understands how to maintain his own plane. So he's basically probably going to end up doing aeronautical engineering as a minor to becoming an aircraft pilot.
Okay, that's a mission. That's making a foundation for your business, or the meaning behind your business is not only just sharing your traditions and your upbringings and stuff. It's to prolong your son into, not prolong, but propel him into what he's having to do in this building his own house and doing the plane stuff.
Yes. And so like he wants to go to like flight schools and stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons that this all got started, is because when the summer came, he had to have enough money for these flight schools and certain camps that he wants to go to. So I was like, okay, there's $300 here, $200 here, $500 here, and we still got to fly you to get there. You need to start working. So that's how this all kind of took momentum and built upon speed, because I got tired of trying to figure out how to stretch the dollar. And I was like, okay, you need to start working. So there's money in the pot. So if you want to jump up and go buy $70 Jordans, or you want to go to a camp that costs $250, or you want to go to some type of field trip, the money's sitting in the bank.
Right. Yeah. That's preparation. It's preparation for what is to come.
Unfortunately, he left me working, doing the work. Lucky I have fun at it, though.
Putting a lot of knowledge out there for the kids to understand that part.
Yeah,
most definitely. It's raising him to go on the right path, to have that knowledge behind him, to even want to build and fly and all that type of stuff. So this next question is, so since you was a little girl, you've been working in the kitchen, you've been baking, your mom had a bakery, all these different things. You've been doing traveling, cooking, doing events. Can you tell us about a food related superstition or belief that you have encountered in your career?
Let me see, a food related superstition.
Like how some people say, like, if you split a pole, bad luck. You break a mirror,
But I'm just trying to think of a superstition. I think the only superstition that we've ever had was the worry of dropping something, like you make a large pan or a large dish or whatever the case may be, and you're like, I'm sure no matter how many times you go somewhere, you open the door to the vehicle slowly in efforts to it not shifting while you're driving and falling out. That's a superstition. And then there's always a theory: don't try to pile up too much on top of you when you're carrying from the car to the event, because all you need to do is trip, and then all that money is gone. So we yell at each other, and unloading and saying, no, you got way too much stuff on top of you. You asking for it, So that's one of our superstitions that we're always afraid that the person is gonna hit that bump or that stump or that lift in the road, and there everything goes across the floor. And we've done it, so we know that it actually happens. But it's still a superstition all the time that we're gonna eat it.
Okay. Um, okay, now on this next one right here, this question is about, okay, so can you share with us a food related memory or experience that has inspired you to continue pursuing your career in the food industry? So this is like, okay, you might have had something good that was like propels you, that keeps you going, or it was something bad that happened that just made you learn from it, and then that kept you going, or if not both, or one of those.
I can do both. So when we first started working, the first year we got to California, we tried to start up the market, and we got our license, and we were at a place called Menifee Market in Menifee, California, and it was a small senior citizens market, but we were just getting started. So we did okay. I mean, made enough to cover the bill that it cost to be in a market, but we were basically just ironing out our kinks in a small market before we sprout our wings and start flying. And so we left that market eventually because we kind of graduated and became a little bit more busy. And the following year, we didn't return. And so the third year we were in business, when we came back to visit friends that were in the market that were still doing business there, everybody started asking for our food. Everybody, hey, where are you guys? Why you not back? Do you have any pasta at home? Can we come over and get some? Can you deliver? What happened to you guys? Are you still working? Are you still in business? That was a great feeling. It made us feel like, even though we thought what we were doing was nominal, people missed us, because we were stable and we were reliable. We were there, and they knew they can kind of. I didn't realize how many of our vendors ate from us. That was our main. That's why we always had a constant. We never went below a certain amount of money because the vendors were always eating from us, the other vendors in the flea market. So they were like, once you left, there was no food for us. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that. So, and then the other thing that happened as far as the bad thing, we go to a lot of Black events, and they always have a lot of fried food and nothing healthy for us to eat. So we were kind of sad about that, because what happens to the people who have high cholesterol, diabetes, and high blood pressure? What do they eat? And so that's why we're here. That motivated us to get out there and say, okay, well, there's our niche. We're the people that the people can't eat the fried food. This is the booth they go to. And so finally we got into a big Black event, which was the frat games. And normally, in general, it's a general term, normally Black people don't eat salad. And that was not the case at the frat games. There was a lot of vegetarians, and I was very surprised. Very, 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 very surprised. Because I hadn't met that many African-American vegetarians in my lifetime. So I was happy. I was happy that people were trying to take care of themselves, and I was happy to serve them.
Okay. Yeah, that was a nice little insight into the cultural differences of how you gotta sell your how you're marketing your business, and what events that you go to that are hit or miss for you. And I think you're right, about that too. That was one of the questions I was going to ask you a little bit later, but you pretty much answered it right there about the healthiness of the food products that you have, in your industry, which is the food industry. I mean, and that was pretty much your answering. You kind of answered that right there.
I definitely Keith, won't be beating the catfish line though.
The catfish.
I won't be beating the catfish line. That's not my goal. They still gonna line up the catfish. They still lining up. Yeah.
But that is a challenge for you guys, right? And not just the food industry, but even for you guys, because we were just talking about the gluten-free. Is there any other like products that you try to use that have been like more of a on the borderline health thing? I mean, because you guys don't. I mean, you guys use seasonings in the pastas too, right? But is there like
No,
certain
we
kind
don't.
of?
We actually are very limited to what we use. We use all natural herbs and spices for Italian seasoning. We make our own. We grow our own. We dry it. We make our own. And then we also have the only other season we use is garlic salt, but we don't use salt. We use garlic salt. And then we have pepper, and that's it. And we have salt and pepper in our packages so that people who want to add salt and pepper can add their own.
Oh, okay.
So in the utensil package, it comes in a little plastic bag. It's already there. And they can add it at their own discretion. We don't want to overpower it. And then it's like, it's too salty. It's too not enough salt.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, at Black events, you need to have some hot sauce. You need to have some spices in this. And I'm like, and so I do have a package of chili pepper, red hot chili peppers that they can add to the pasta if they choose.
Yeah. Hot sauce on pasta, hot sauce on everything. Huh?
Wow.
Not hot sauce. Yeah. They want red hot chili peppers. Like on pizza.
Red hot chili peppers. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. The little. Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
So I'm like, if you want it, you can put it on there.
That's kind of crazy because you talk about the community that we're in about salads and things like that, and I'm a heavy love for salad, and I think it's really good if I can get somebody to make me a good salad. I make good salads, but I love to eat that. But when I want to go back, I'm gonna start my questions from backwards to a little bit to where you started before I came back, and that's regarding the salad, because my wife was a stickler about salad. She worked at the hospital, and we would go to a restaurant, and the first thing she said, and she would stop them, did you wash your salad? How often do you wash your lettuce? And she would say, nah, take that back. Because she likes eating the salads, chicken salad, shrimp salad, whatever it is. But she would turn a plate back, all decorated and nice. And she, with her fork, going through it, said, nah, you gotta take this back. Give me something that's fresh. Mm-hmm. So when you work with salads, lettuce, romaine, all of those different things, do you have to maintain somewhere where you have to wash it? Do you bring it already in that stage where it's already clean and washed, and now you're just worried about keeping it in a cool, fresh, so it's still firm? Is that? And then the only other thing I would ask: do you guys, or do you have knowledge about the salads of bacteria or salmonella and all of those type of things through your food handling? Talk a little bit about that.
So, like I said, I'm a nutritionist by trade. So therefore, I've learned not only how the salad is good for you on the front side, but how damaging it can be to you on the backside. And backside meaning your stomach, your gut, your poop, how it all goes terribly wrong if you have something tainting your salad. So I'm very, very paranoid of making sure the salad is fresh. The last thing I want to do is get somebody sick. So to answer your question number one, do I wash the salad? We have a sink right there with us. I carry a sink with us every single time that we go. And we constantly wash our hands. We don't cross-contaminate. We have different utensils for different items on the table. Then we also have a way of keeping the salad crisp. Like I said, I don't want the salad to get hot at the bottom or slimy at the bottom. So when you pick up the lettuce, you get this second and third order residual that's not looking good or feeling good or tasting good. I want that salad to be good from the first bite at the top to the last piece at the bottom when you're going in for the last scoop in your mouth. So therefore, yes, we work hard to make sure we maintain that salad temperature in a crisp environment that is cold and is separated from anything else, not to absorb the smell from any other foods or anything like that. So it's in this cooler all by itself. So that's it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I know that is, when you mention your business and you making salads and whatnot, I know that has got to be the biggest fear. It's not so much that you're not doing things right. It's just the fear of all it takes is a little bit to one, create the cross contamination for the salad, and second, to not for it to not have that bottom, the top to bottom crisp that most people want when they going to a vendor event and buying those salads, either on ice or something like that. So I'm really glad that you talked about that, because that's an important.
Yeah, you can visually see that our salads are on ice. They're sitting on ice when you look at when you look down to the table, you can see the salads are on ice. Yeah.
Was that one of the biggest?
Yeah, even at every event that we go to, our salads stay on ice in front of you. So you're not worried about where am I going to get the lettuce? It's literally prepackaged right in front of you. Oh man, I wish I didn't think about it. I should have brought the salad on the screen with you so you can see it for yourself.
I don't think I can't eat that salad through the screen.
Oh no, I didn't say eat it. I said see it.
Now. I'm pretty hungry right now. You can't ship it in time. I can't get you.
Nah. I want to tell you, when you say you like salads, the person that makes the greatest salad that you ever tasted is Lauren. She makes some mean salad, and it's not the normal kind of salad. It's like her salads have apples and meat, 3 or 4 different type of meat, and green pepper, red pepper, onions. I mean, her salads are a meal. And we asked for, can I have a Lauren salad?
Not that I can
Lauren salad.
Yeah, the Lauren salads are really good. They're really, really good. And she shakes them up so that every piece of lettuce or food, it has an evenly proportionate amount of salad dressing on it, whatever the salad dressing is. And she can make her own salad dressing. That's even more so, So.
I can eat a salad without meat if it's made right. I could just throw it down, and in the way it's tasting, like it's meat, because all of the different stuff, the seeds, the all of the different fruits and everything. I'm crunching, I'm eating. It's over, and that's it. I love a good salad, so I'm looking forward to being able.
I'm sorry. If I eat a salad without meat, I'll be back in the kitchen about 15 minutes later. My metabolism.
Yeah, well, you got. I've eaten them. I actually like it that way. Sometimes I can eat the whole thing, because you know what I'm thinking in my head? I'm eating healthy. I'm not eating the dead piece of animal. I'm eating healthy. I'm just eating. But anyway,
that's so not true. But I'm gonna just let that go for now.
But blacks do eat salads.
Right. And I am happy that is a stereotype that we are easily putting to rest here. At least I've been a one state in the union that black people eat salad.
For sure. But I am going to ask you this question, because I think of it like when you're talking about salads, in every different country, salads are different. Like when you're talking about an Asian salad or an African salad or a black salad, so to speak, like our people's salad, they're different in what goes on top and what's in there. So when you make your salads and stuff like that, do you try to cover some of those areas? Like when you set up, you got your little Asian salad set up, or you got your little regular salt and pepper salad, which black folks go in, because Africans they like certain types of not only fruits but seeds and other types of natural products inside their salads when they eat it. Do you try to do that kind of a genre when you go to an event, or are you strictly sticking to okay, it's lettuce, tomatoes, whatever it's going to be, extra I'll put in there, and that's all the salads?
Yeah, well, the menu that we had was like a collaboration of all those different things that you just mentioned, of the different styles and type of salads that we've had over the years. And so we pulled like 1 or 2 things off of each salad. So by us having such a large amount of toppings, because again, like you mentioned, in general, this is general again, it goes to the types of lettuce. So we were at first, when we first started out, we were doing baby spinach and romaine, and unfortunately, 1, they're hard to come by consistently. 2, they were so many people were like, I don't like spinach or I don't like baby, so we started doing mixed. And then once we started doing a mixed lettuce, we had no more problems after that. Everybody was happy with the mixed lettuce. They didn't have choices. It was what they got. And that was one thing that alleviated it. So the other piece that helped with our changing the going from different genres of people, it was we have the pumpkin. I'm not being biased when I say this. This is from experience. Majority of the community that are more hippie-ish, no matter what your color is, the more hippie-ish style of people, they love the pumpkin seeds and the sunflower seeds. And that came from our experiences in Hawaii and Alaska. And then with the Asian, they like a lot of fruit in their salad. So that's where the raisins and the cranberries came from. And the most Americans are the tomatoes and the mushrooms. That's what those two items came from. And then the green pepper, red pepper, onions, that, believe it or not, came from the African American community. They have a tendency to be looking for those things inside their salad. So that's why we just stick to that menu. Well, one more. The olives, the black and the green olives, that's Italian. That's catering more to Italian. And the cheeses go with the Italian. Because we all love antipasto. So that's where that came from. So yeah, it's easier to build a nice wide menu versus changing the menu every single time we go to a different location.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. But I think the other thing that you could do too to help with that, and I'm sure you do anyway, and that is to have those condiments on the side, whether or not you can, they can upgrade it to that style that they want, but
Okay.
your base level could be in one of three areas, but either one of those salads can be upgraded through its condiments that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Olives or onions or bell pepper or whatever it is, they can upgrade it. Just ask for that, and then they can upgrade it to that style. Something you don't have to put all on the dish itself. So I'm sure you're working and doing that as well, because I love to see that. But the other question I have for you, and as I work back up through the conversation you just had with Razak, was, you talk about your family and what you're doing to teach them the work and how they all are intertwined and helping you to get the business going and helping each other. Two things in this question. One is, have you thought about having your own booth where you do it on your own, separate from Lauren, where you have your own ability to be seen in that way and not together with the sweets? And then the other part is that, have you had friends and that you met since you've been back in the States that you like, what, they're not riding with me, they're not part of supporting me the way that I would like them to do, just a job or whether it's people you meet? Talk about those two different things, because I think they I was curious about that.
Okay, so first thing, yes. So understand that when me and Lauren travel, majority of the time our booths were side by side. We're not normally together unless the spacing of the event calls for it. But normally we have two separate booths, and they are two separate licensed businesses. So we're not together unless the business the event is crammed for space. And so majority of the time she's actually doing her own thing. And yes, there have been friends that no matter what you do, there's always going to be somebody that's a critic. So you just learn to say, okay, well, thank you for your point of view, and you keep moving. Your point of view is not everyone's point of view, and you just let it roll off and keep moving.
Yeah, I like that, because it's important, because as you're teaching your kids, and they're all in different areas. One is, like you said, a photographer. The other one's in sweets, and you and your son and he's in sports, and you're doing your thing. To have that be a part of what they see from mom, like, what if people are having these opinions, and how you go about it is important to show them what's actually, how to deal with those types of issues. One of my other questions is, and I'm going to say this because I think it's something that I experienced myself, which is coming from Louisiana. I didn't know how to set a plate. I didn't know the fork goes here and the knife go there and whatever it is. But we moved in with a family member, was my uncle and auntie, and they were bougie. He was in the military, but bougie.
I love how you got to be bougie just because you got table manners.
Yeah, they were bougie. I mean, they would yell at us, and we would hold the fork like like this with our hands on it. Said, "Put your finger down and hold the fork like you're supposed to hold a fork. You don't hold a fork like that. And then cut that with the knife. That knife is for that." And I swear, we were just like these people. I want to stay here no more. But I know that it was something that I hated when I was going through when I got to California. But man, when I got married and start going out and start eating dinner, I'm like, I know that's a salad fork right there. I know that's a salad fork. I know this is this fork. I know it's supposed to be on this side. Learn how to hold it. So I was just kind of like curious about how did you guys deal with that? Was that something that you learned through the process of,
Oh no. So my entire family, all the way back to my grandmother, we are Salvation Army volunteers, and every year, me and my children take the day before Thanksgiving Eve, and we go down to the Salvation Army and we serve a meal. Since we've been in California, we've been working with some lady out in Hemet, either Hemet or Paris. I can't remember what park. It's a big park out there, and we go out there and we take large portions of food and we serve the homeless. So there's a group in the Salvation Army called the Girl Guards, and it's kind of like the Girl Scouts, but instead of them teaching you how to sell cookies and be sociable, the Girl Guards teaches you how to have a home. So you learn how to iron, cook, clean, wash. So those are your badges, and part of your badges is learning how to set a proper table. So all of my daughters, as well as myself and all my sisters and all my mother and all her sisters and my grandmother, all went through this program called Girl Guards. And Girl Guards also allows you to go away to camp for the summer and stay away for the summer. And again, when you're earning your badges at camp, part of your badges is earning, cooking, cleaning, washing, and learning how to manage your home. So that's where that came from. From the Girl Guards teaching us how to set a proper table and earning a badge. And so I went on with my nephews. My brother would never let them out of their sight, so they would never get the opportunity to become boys. Cub Scouts is called. Cub Scouts is the opposite. And so I had to teach them myself. I had to teach my nephews. I couldn't leave them hanging, So I had to teach my nephews how to eat properly. But we didn't. Well, let me say I didn't yell at the kids. My ex-husband did, but I didn't. And so I would tell everybody to have proper etiquette. It's not bougie. That's not what bougie is, actually. But I would say society judges you about how you eat. So no matter where you are, if it's your first date, if it's your prom, if it's the formal dinner for your boss, if it's going out to an event with your friends, if you sit at that table and don't know how to operate your food, that everybody in their room is going to be looking at you like you're a barbarian. And I never want a member of my family to feel that feeling when people are watching you like they're watching an animal behind a cage or something. So I taught my nephews how to eat properly at a table, and pull the chair out for the lady, sit up in the chair, sit both of your legs in front of you, cut your knife, your spoon, your spar, So when you go into society, you're able to function, not be accepted. It's two different things, but able to function properly. And if you choose to rebel, that's your choice. But at least have the knowledge so you know enough to not embarrass yourself if you choose to. That's all.
It's good.
Well, I'm gonna say this right off the top. Now, if you eating at a restaurant and you got all that stuff and you pulling your chicken apart with the fork and everything, and you leaving all that meat on the bone, boy.
Well, depending on the company you keep, if you're there with your boss and you gotta pull your part, you gotta pull the chicken off the bone with your boss. But if you with your homies and you with your cousin, and you can go on and suck that chicken bone if you want to. I mean, like I said, if you choose to rebel against society, that's on you.
I see people do that. I went to a restaurant eating. I know that chicken looked good. I was like, and he eating it with a fork, and I looked at that chicken when he got done. I'm like, hey man, you got girls that left all that chicken on the bone. You done paid $45 for this chicken, and you done left all the meat on the bone.
Trust me, my Jamaican friends hate going to a restaurant with me because I put my chicken down, they take it off my plate. I put my chicken down, they take it. Girl, you leaving after the chicken on the plate. What are you doing? Give me the damn chicken already, So yeah, they definitely.
That's our culture, man. We ain't playing around with no chicken. We ain't playing around with none of that stuff that's close to the bone that we can eat. Now, see,
for me, it took me a long time before I could eat chicken that close to the bone. I didn't want to see that part between the chicken and the bone. I never liked that. It took me a long time before I could get past it. Once I became nutritious and understood what it was, then I started
eating the gristle, Razak. She didn't want to eat that
I really hated gristle. That just sounded horrible. My mother would chew it. And I was just like, oh, what are you doing?
It's like bone, and she got all her teeth. My mother, 82, and she said she got.
My mama died with a full set. My mother died with a full set. She was only missing 4. I counted, I want to make sure I got all. I be telling the dentist, don't pull my tooth. I'm gonna die with what I came in with.
Yeah. That's how it go.
Yeah, but definitely I understand it has become, now believe it or not, Louisiana used to be the place that you used to go to learn proper etiquette. Now something has happened over the years that Louisianians have lost that crown that they used to wear. But when you look back in history, maybe 20s, 30s, 40s, and you look back, there used to be proper etiquette schools in Louisiana. And
I wonder if they have those out here.
Yeah. So I sent my daughter to etiquette school in Hawaii, but 2 girls from Louisiana, one from Louisiana, one from Alabama. They taught the etiquette schools.
I'm gonna agree with you on that. Because my grandmother and grandfather, they had the long scarves and they had the etiquette. They ate, they knew all that. You
come to dinner and you sit formally. You dress up to come to dinner. The whole night. We've never done that in my family where you dress to come to dinner. But we have all the spoons and forks and the right knife and all of that stuff. We did that for the boys, but we didn't go to the extreme. It could get more, but we didn't do that. We just set the 14 pieces at the table. That was it.
All right. Well, let me ask you this question here, and then we'll go to break. And I wanted to know: do you use tofu? Do you use?
No, sir.
Lord have mercy.
I like food with flavor. I have never been a fan.
That's for your other people.
Again, I'm not catering to them. I left them in Hawaii. If I go back to Hawaii, then I have to put tofu and soybeans on my food. But right now, No, to me, and I don't serve things that I don't eat. To me, tofu reminds me of, that divot in the pork chop that the flour always got stuck in? That's what tofu reminds me of. That flour that didn't get cooked, that's it right there. That's the flavor.
Ladies.
Why would they do this on purpose? Who eats this stuff?
All right. I'm just telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be right back. We're going to take a look at some of this delicious salads that she's making. We'll be back with Lisa Triple D getting out there with all the good salads and everything. We'll be right back, guys. Hang on. Ooh, spinach. What you got? Spinach in there? You got what type of lettuce is that? Name those lettuces.
Green leaf, spinach, mixed lettuce. It's a baby spring mix. So you can see it on the side. See, it's fresh at the bottom. See, remember I said that? Gotta be fresh at the bottom. See them tomatoes? fresh.
Now, what you gonna put on that? What's the normal topping for that?
So this normally has sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, cranberries, raisins, Parmesan cheese, feta cheese, and that's it. Unless they ask for more.
What other sauces do you make? The regular sauces and stuff like that? Because like a Italian ranch. Like how do you?
We only use balsamic vinegar and Parmesan. And ranch. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter must have made this one because it's heavy. I'm opening the next one so you can see the pasta salad. All right, this is the next one. Ready for the next episode of Smell-O-Vision. So this one is a pasta salad. And you see green pepper, red pepper, onions. You also see black olives in there. There's Italian seasoning, and that is your balsamic vinegar at the top right here.
Okay. So typically, how long does it take you to make these and come up with what you're gonna do?
Typically me and Lauren basically have 1 day of prep each. So my prep time is about 4 or 5 hours. Her prep time is about 2 days. Yeah. So
you just throw them all in there together, then throw them in the refrigerator, and then drive on over to the event, right?
Right. So I pre-package some of my stuff, and some of my stuff I make on site. So the pasta I make on site. The hot pasta. Okay. Yeah, but the cold stuff I make before I get there, so I can have something to give to people who are antsy. Because we have people standing in front of our booth going, I want to eat. So I'm like, here, eat something. And so my daughter got a picture this weekend of a guy. He got a combo plate, and he literally backed up like 3 feet from the booth, sat down on the ground, and started eating his salad. And then as soon as the pasta was done, he sat there and ate his pasta, and he drank his whole drink. And he was like, he stood up, put the stuff in the trash can, came back to the booth and said, that was good. It hit the spot. And it's like, we took a picture of him because we was like, you can't make this shit up. This dude just plopped down. So one of the things that I love to do that I don't have the luxury of having is we normally take extra tent, table, and chairs with us so that we can have people sit down and eat next to our booth while they're waiting on their food, and then they can go sit down and enjoy their meal, because a lot of times you go to these markets, there's nowhere to sit down and eat the food once you order it, and that bothers me. So I like to have the extra booth there to be able to have people eat properly and sit down and eat, And
the same thing.
Say it again.
Same thing go for your pastries? You make pastries too, right?
Yeah, so I do make pastries, but I try to stay out of their realm. I just help. I'm the sous chef in Lauren's kitchen. So, but no, I definitely, for the pastries, I usually, if Lauren is cooking, I usually buy pastries from her. If Lauren's not cooking, then I make brownies, I make pumpkin muffins, or I make peanut butter cookies. Those are usually the things that I take with me if she's not cooking.
Okay. Just a select few items, but not an array of a whole bunch of different things.
I try to stay out of that. Once she started baking, I moved to the side and I stopped. So if she's not around and she's not in the mood or whatever, I go do my stuff just to make sure I have a combo plate, because I have part of my menu is I have a picture of a salad, a pasta, a hot pasta dish, and a pastry, so that people know you can still get that combo. Whatever it is that you like. So
I heard that. Okay. We're gonna run into you one of these days, and
the next time I'll be closest to you is the BRC. That's on the 26th.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna be next to you guys too. I may have to just bring my chair.
Not a problem.
My toothpick, my insulin, and I'm gonna have
Yeah,
my
she's
own
she
insulin
already
shot.
started her menu for Christmas. I mean for the BRC. She's trying to figure out what magical things am I gonna make to go to that event, because people come storming for the red velvet. That's number one. And then they really love, the Rice Krispie treats. I've never seen so many people eat Rice Krispie treats in all my life, but they love those things. And I'm like,
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
Her Rice Krispie treats are the treats of the treats.
yeah. I mean, the way
you
she's
gotta
doing them
have
now, she
something
got
else.
these big marshmallows on them, but I like them better when it's all in it.
Yeah,
I'm not a
wait.
fan of the big marshmallow sitting on top, but it seems to appeal to the masses. So who am I? I'm just the one person in the back. You ain't gotta please me. Go ahead, do your thing.
As long as they keep showing, right?
Looks good on the screen.
I'm the person that likes no icing on my chocolate cake. So don't pay me no mind.
Man,
Yeah.
I heard that. So, yeah, this is cool right here. He said, "Keep it on the ice. Keep it on the ice." So it was. So it was raisins, and these are what the pumpkin seeds right here.
Yeah,
And
pumpkin seeds. Just a tidbit for you, black men. Sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds are natural anti-inflammatory, and they're supposed to help with your prostate. Just to let you know.
okay,
So
pumpkin
before
seeds.
you go pop a pill, pop you some pumpkin seeds. Believe it or not, the pill is made out of the same thing.
But the pumpkins
The ingredients
grinded
in
up
the
pumpkin
pumpkin
seeds.
seeds is what the medicine that you're gonna take for a prostate would be from. It just have a whole lot
Oh,
of other stuff in it. But the pill is the natural form of what they give you at the doctor's office.
you know what? You know what? I don't think we detailed cover that either. Is what is your what's your
What
nutritionist
type of
degree is that, or schooling involved in that? How did that come about? Where did you get the idea, or the motivation to become a nutritionist?
Yeah, we haven't talked about this. So the essence of, I'm not sure if Lauren mentioned it or not, the essence of what my family is we're Native American and African American, more Native than African. And I still haven't found the African American person in my family, but I'm searching. So with that being said, my grandmothers on my father's side for generations back were farmers. And with farmers, they were also otherwise known as shaman, medicine women. So that they cured people through food, medicine, teas, and salves. And so we are the ones who carrying this tradition forward. I am the shaman in training for my generation. I'm being trained by my aunt, and I'm training Lauren for the next generation. So that all comes from healing people from food. So that is why when I chose a food booth, we chose something that was going to be healthy. When we serve the homeless, we don't serve them canned goods and canned food and old cheese and stuff that's at the back of your cabinet. We serve them fresh food, fresh healthy food, so that at least one of their meals that they get this year is going to be healthy.
Give
All
us.
right, ladies and gentlemen, I know that salad has just been melting in your mouth as you was tasting it through the screen as she put it up there. I don't know what type of dressing you like, but I'll take ranch, a little, vinaigrette, all of that stuff on my salad too. So I hope you like it, and I'm hoping that you find out where she's at and take all her salads. The way she's keeping it clean, man, I tell you, we're back. So I hope that you can tell me about it. And the message is send us a text, send us an email, send us something. Let us know what you think about those salads. And we're going to go on and move forward from here.
Thank you.
You know what? One of my questions that I want to ask now is, can you talk a little bit about your life lessons? What are some of the things that you are, you know, have learned through the whole process of being a mom and a business owner? And then not only that, you're raising a black woman, as a business owner. Talk a little bit about how you see that, and a little bit of that.
Well, There's several things that I would like to say. As far as being starting a business is hard. Getting up off the couch is hard. Finding what you can do that's going to be profitable is the second hard thing to do. Third hard thing about starting a business is learning how to do all the paperwork. So be persistent, take your time, give yourself some time to be able to go through all the paperwork meticulously. Don't try to do it on a fly, halfway in the corner, on the side. You need to just spend some Saturdays, while you're sitting down watching your favorite movie on a Saturday afternoon with nothing to do, nowhere to go. Sit down on a Saturday afternoon, go through your tax papers, go through your new permit that you have to get, read the information about the insurances, understand what permits and taxes you have to pay. All of those things are things that you have to do that nobody wants to do, but they make your business successful. They make or break your business long before a customer can complain or be happy or give you praise or give you a tip. None of that matters if you're not legal. I hate to see so many of our people, African American people, out there hustling hard, but they won't get their license, they won't get their taxes, and you lose a lot of money not being legal. Believe it or not. People think, oh, if I make $10, the government don't take 20, So it's not really that way. If there's tax benefits that come along, you miss that. If there's tax cuts or if there's tax deductions, you miss all of that. So learn what type of business you have. Everybody shouldn't be an LLC. That's not always great because of the type of business you're in. Liabilities can be your enemy as much as it can be your friend. Knowing the difference between an S corp and a C corp, that's very important because again, you miss those tax benefits if you don't know what they are. Don't try to do everything yourself. You are not an accountant. You are not a bookkeeper. Go pay for that service. It's worth the investment. It's worth the investment if you're not a reader. Not everybody's a reader. So go pay for the bookkeeping or accountant. Remember that a relationship with an accountant is just like your doctor or your minister. If you're not comfortable with them, go to another one. If you don't trust them, go to another one. Listen to your gut. And then when you're comfortable with that person, that team, that firm that you're with, then lay out the law. Let them do your individual taxes, your business taxes, and anything that comes in between, your GE or your exercise tax, and pay and make it legal. And then when something comes from the presidency and they're going to roll back money or they're going to do this or they're going to do that, you're in the pocket. You got tax deductions. Guess what? You might get a refund. So that's the best advice I can give. Just be legal. Be legal. And then you'll reap the benefits of doing business. No matter where you are in this country, you'll reap the benefits from being legal. That's what I would tell a business person in the future. But as far as my life lessons go, the hardest thing for me, the biggest run-in that I have is being a woman in business is hard because Karen has a leg up. She can go to uncle, mom, dad, cousin, sister, and get some money if she needs. Get $10,000 to get her business off the ground as a gift. You do not have that option most of the time. And you're starting with your paycheck, whatever your job is, and you're trying to make it work every pay period. And then every single lump sum of money that comes in, be it income tax returns or whatever have you. And that's more difficult. So being a Black woman starting a business in America is extremely difficult. But like everything else that we do, just be persistent, keep pushing, and you'll be successful. That's it.
I like that because I think that's one of the goals for us Black men is to understand that our Black women has been out there doing this working and pushing for us for a long time. Just like when something goes wrong, there's Black women out there that's marching. When something is wrong with the Black men, they're the ones that are out there supporting us. So we need to recognize that and appreciate that and make sure that we honor that as well. So I do appreciate you saying that forcefully as far as what you're doing to support your kids. and your daughter. So I'd like to ask you a little bit about the youth, right? Because I want to know, what would you say to them? Because yes, you have a daughter that's older now, but what do you say to the young girls that are out there trying to, they have their passions and all these different things? How do you think they should go about thinking about business?
I would say to the first thing I would say is whatever your passion is, really, really understand it. If it's doing hair, if it's cooking, if it's fashion, if it's modeling, whatever your passion is, understand what your passion is, learn it, go do internships, talk to people in the industry, pick their brains, learn as much as you can about whatever industry you're interested in, so that when it's your turn and you get to step out on your own and do your thing, that you're not getting taken advantage of because you didn't know. And that's the worst thing, especially in acting and fashion. Those are the two worst worlds right there, that you're trying to climb the ladder and people are going to take advantage of you over and over and over. Oh, I'm sorry, let's not forget dancing. Those three industries, people will take advantage of you because you're trying to put yourself forward, and people are going to take advantage of that opportunity, of your naivete. So definitely make sure you read, learn, and understand as much as you possibly can whatever genre of business you're going into, and this for men and women. Because again, just as many women are going to get taken advantage of as men, because men are trying to work hard and they usually walking around with a wad of money in their hand, and they know somebody knows he's got money and he's trying to push his business off the ground. Let's figure out a scheme to take advantage of him. So again, learn the industry so you don't get susceptible to getting ripped off, because there are people that will rip you off at every single turn. You just got to be on your six. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, men and women needs to, understand that, being taken advantage of is 100% in this day and age. Is constant, whether it's on the internet, whether it's in person, and whatever's going on. So I'm gonna pass
Exactly.
it to Zach after I ask you this last question here,
Yes,
and
sir.
it has to do with mental health. Can you
Mhm.
talk a little bit about how, all the stuff you got going on and the things you've been through in your life, how do you stay balanced and maintaining your mental health?
I would tell you that the number one phrase from my grandmother is idle hands are hands of the devil. If you sitting at home sitting still, you got time to think about your problems. If you're busy, you don't have time to think about your problems. Because when you are busy, you learn that your problems are actually nominal compared to someone else's. So if you sitting at home for too long, now don't get me wrong, everybody has to download and rest. I mean, I'm an avid believer of sitting in the bed, vegging, hitting the sci-fi and popcorn on one side, potato chips on the other. I believe that in me time. Don't get me wrong. My other me time is hitting a spa and getting a massage, and it's 100% necessary. But if you are a person that sits at home for too long with nothing else to do but twiddle your thumbs and thinking about all the things that are wrong in your life, that is not healthy, and it leads to nothing but bona fide certified depression, because you're starting to wonder about all the things that you don't have, you can't have, you wish you had, it's not there, I'm not good enough, I'm not that. And no, once you start going down those roads, they all lead to bad places.
As I said, mm-hmm.
Please remember that we cater. So there are a lot of Christmas parties and events coming up over the holidays, and we would love to serve you guys. I love seeing people happy at Christmas time. It is one of my favorite holidays of the year. We can give you a full-fledged experience where we serve as well as we cater. But if that's not enough or not necessary, we can definitely fix your food and drop it off, and you can serve your own food, and that's just as great. These items that we serve are able to be self-serve, and we definitely think everyone will enjoy it. You can reach us at area code 808-386-4323. That is by phone. By email, you can reach DJ Delectable Delights 09, and then I'm sorry, at gmail.com. And then for our Instagram is pound sign, or what is it called? Dollar sign, pound sign, asterisk. DJ Delectable09, and that's on Instagram. So again, you can reach us anywhere. Drop us a line. Ask us where we are going to be. Ask us, can you place an order? We will deliver. And we also definitely will take care of you if you have a special request. So again, reach out to us. We're here for you. We're here to feed you. If you just simply have a question about something healthy, we'll answer those questions too. I hope everyone had a great time. Thank you again for having us, Mr. Keith. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us.